Long-range aTACMS. What? What do you say? Long-range aTACMS. What? Long-range aTACMS. Ah, this is what you're saying. This is what I'm hearing also. You go to internet nowadays, today morning, and all I see, every headline is that United States President Joe Biden promised to Zelensky privately that they will send a small batch of long-range aTACMS missiles to Ukraine. Let's go into it. What is the real information and what is the outcome of it? Now, the information that I can confirm that is officially said by Biden on rolling cameras is that during the next week, United States' first Abrams tanks will reach Ukraine. And this is amazing news at itself already, but this is dwarfed by the fact that privately he supposedly said to Zelensky that they will also receive long-range aTACMS. This information, true or not, I cannot confirm it. Nobody can. It's all a rumor because nobody actually recorded it or filmed it or took a photo of it. You don't know what Biden said to Zelensky privately, but this is confirmed by 3 United States officials from the White House and 1 of the senators who were present during the meeting. And they said, yes, Biden indeed said so to Zelensky. And this gathered so much attention that Budanov, the head of intelligence of Ukraine, the most famous and best poker face to ever walk this earth, had to comment on it. He commented that a small numbers of aTACMS won't change the situation on the battlefield. We need hundreds. This is what he said. And it is true. aTACMS is quite similar in the end. I know people will go crazy to even me for make this comparison, but they are in their capability quite similar to Storm Shadow. And Ukraine has a small number of Storm Shadows and Scalp missiles. With long-range aTACMS, the thing is that US has a lot of them. That would be the greatest plus of it. Now, Storm Shadow and Scalp are incredibly effective. They have been the most effective missiles Ukraine has up to date. And later in this video, there's gonna be a huge bombshell of a news that recently happened with Storm Shadow. The Black Sea Fleet headquarters was demolished to the ground. We're gonna get to it. Get your popcorn, it's so juicy. The thing is, Ukraine doesn't have that many Storm Shadow because the UK and France cannot supply them in big quantities because they're incredibly expensive. Well, so are long-range aTACMS, but the US being a military powerhouse, they have a lot of them. And I will tell you this here, and I believe in it, a big number, a big quantity of long-range aTACMS from the United States would change the battlefield, would change the outcome of this war. United States knows this. On this photo, we can see 4 United States senators appeal to Joe Biden with a request to send long-range aTACMS in big quantities to Ukraine. So there is big support in the government to send these missiles, and everybody is waiting for them. Ukrainians are waiting for them. There's so much talk about it. Why don't the United States want to send them? Well, this is not what I think, but I'll give you some opinions that people have and that I've seen on my comments. Long-range aTACMS has gotten so much hype that it is a bargain chip. It is a trump card. It's something you don't want to use lightly. For example, if Russia is threatening to do something very big, United States then has a trump card saying that if you do that, we will send long-range aTACMS. I'm pretty sure Biden wants to send these in the long run, in the long term. But it's about the timing. You need to do this at the time when it means the most to Ukrainians and Russians. Hey, this is not what I think or how I think, this is how I think Biden thinks. To make the most of sending one of your best weapons by using the correct timing, when it means the most to Russians and Ukrainians. You can send the best message with it then. Now, don't attack me for this opinion. Put it in the comments, what do you think? I'm just a messenger here. Now, a lot of people are saying that long-range aTACMS are an escalation, and yes, they are, but where do you have to escalate? This is a full-scale war. There's nowhere to escalate except for a nuclear conflict, of course. But this is why this previous version makes a lot of sense, because if Russia chooses 1 or 2 steps to escalate this war with, United States has a card to play. If you escalate, we escalate, Ukraine gets a ton of long-range aTACMS. Now, if true that Biden truly promised Zelensky these small quantities of long-range aTACMS in the coming weeks, they will not be part of this next 300 million United States aid packet because they were not in the list. But if they will be arriving in Ukraine in small quantities, then yes, Budanov is right, they will not change much, but they will change something. Ukraine can try them out, get used to them, learn on them, and it's basically additional Storm Shadows and Scalp missiles which have proven to be the most expensive and efficient missile Ukraine has right now. So more of these is always a good party. My friends, I found a perfect thread that is so simple, so simplified. I need to share it with you. Perhaps I should share specs and analytical data, but no, I choose this thread because it's simple and it makes sense. Twitter account named Djibouti, luxurious memes and takes. Yes, I chose this thread. Made a thread on aTACMS and let's go through it. Missiles good, numbers bad. So Ukraine needs them, but small quantities won't change much, and Americans are saying they don't have that many in their stockpile, so numbers bad. Mortar ammo more important. Again, truth being said in 4 simple words, if you don't send thousands of long-range aTACMS, then mortar ammo will be more important in any battle. Most casualties happen through artillery missions. I would call 75%, although I don't know, I would think 75% of Russian casualties happen through Ukrainian artillery, so whatever big Wunderwaffe, big weapons you might send, this basic, robust mortar munitions that everybody's already bored of hearing is the most important thing to send. If larger quantity than 200 missiles, good, but not great. If they send less than 200 missiles, then it's bad. This is what Budanov basically said. Small quantity won't change much, but I'm saying here that any quantity is good, and in the long term, huge quantities needed. Public expectation is more in line with the Ukraine getting 2,000 missiles, so expect about 10% of the impact the hype posters are selling you. A very good post, like every headline today morning when I wake up. The United States will be sending long-range aTACMS. This is a hype post, because the truth is, it's not, first of all, it's not confirmed even that they will, because it's just a rumor. And second of all, the rumor already says it, small number of aTACMS. And the titles are saying, oh, this war will change, Russians will be destroyed. Small number won't change much, but it's a big deal, big next step on this battlefield. And this 200 missiles versus 10% is very accurate. Usually, hype posts and headlines say something very, very big and promise something grandiose, and the reality is only 10% of this will happen. So the truth might be that if United States will send a small quantity, they might be 50 missiles, perhaps 100. That's already a very good number. Now, this next information I completely agree with. They could have just shown up in quiet and Russia could have done absolutely nothing about it. Barely anyone knew what Storm Shadow was. Press release, delivery, stuff exploding. Political capital expended. Yeah, with Storm Shadow, I remember not really knowing much about it, maybe a few weeks before it was sent. I learned about it, and suddenly it's there and it's sending Russian commanders to sleep with the fishes. So efficient. I loved it. This is how the Brits did it. Fast, quiet and efficiently. With long-range aTACMS, this discussion has been active since the sending of HIMARS, short-range aTACMS. So we're talking 1 year and more. Every Russian is anticipating them with fear. Every Ukrainian is waiting in hope to get them. Americans are so loaded, so charged emotionally that we shouldn't send them or we should send them. This could have been done so much differently. Just secretly send them and stuff explodes. This is my way. This is the way I would choose. Now this next information is facts, but it's sad facts, so get ready. But it's just a ballistic missile in low numbers. At this point, Russia has fired more than 10,000 big warheads at Ukraine, and we're pretending a low 3-digit number will be the last thing Ukraine needs. There's truth and lies in this sentence because, yes, below 1,000 missiles won't change the battlefield significantly, but it will change enough because these missiles will be used only on high-value targets, which are commanders, generals, colonels. With, let's say, 100 missiles, you can make many different attacks, and since they don't miss and Ukrainian intelligence is good, they know where these generals are. They will attack them, they will hit precisely and take out these generals. So we're talking 2-digit number of liquidated Russian high-ranking officers. So it will make a difference in high-value targets hit, high-value targets destroyed. But yeah, the true hard facts are that yeah, Russia has fired 10,000 of similar missiles to Ukraine, and Ukraine is still standing and fighting and not even close to falling. So the hype is a lot bigger than the reality in this case. Same of course goes for the F-16s. They are very old. F-16V is a completely different plane, but that's the one people expect. Tell me, what is more in line with as long as it takes with the support? and talk about Lend-Lease. 140 modern jets Ukraine asked for or 40 old ones? A very good question and problem raised here because people are expecting and the hype is expecting Ukraine to get these F-16s with the most modern version of them. The most modern radars inside with a 350 kilometer range, most modern weaponry and equipment installed on it. But there's also a lot of these F-16s that have not been upgraded at all, which are almost completely equal to the fighters that Russia has. And there is a very real possibility in my eyes that Ukraine will get those. And they will not change much. They will change a little again because Ukraine has more fighter jets. But what will change is the newest modernized, the most modernized F-16. And I don't know if Ukraine will get those. If they will, it will change a lot. If they won't, it will change little. That is the hard fact of this aid. And I'll read the final text here because it is the honest truth. We should show the same enthusiasm, he means the same hype and enthusiasm, for shell production. The most important Western aid in weaponry, in military aid, I would say is artillery shells. Most boring, most robust, but most important, contributing to what I would think 75% of the liquidated Russian personnel. Now, I might be wrong with these numbers and I have no statistics to prove it, but being an infantryman, being through the army, talking to soldiers in Ukraine, it reflects what I think. Most casualties through artillery shells, artillery missions. So sending more of these will make a difference. My friends, now I want to take this moment to actually give credit to my editor, Oliver. For the last, few months actually, Oliver has been editing my videos and I have been able to do this because of patrons and I'm so glad I have been able to do it. Oliver has freed up so much of my mental space that I can actually do some other things. For example, go to Ukraine and help the Ukrainians more, make fundraisers, make videos that are outside of Ukrainian updates because I don't have to edit them. So thank you, Oliver, and everybody in the comments put a little good compliment to Oliver because I know you guys have been liking these edits. They're a lot better than mine. Thanks, Oliver. And since Oliver's services cost money, of course they do, because he's a very good editor, I do feel like I have to thank the patrons in the middle of this video this time because they are the ones who make it able for me to have an editor and do these videos and then do other stuff for Ukraine. You guys have freed up my time to do other things that help Ukraine. So I'll read you 5 names, I'll butcher you 5 names, patron names. Joel Morales. You, my friend, have very good Morales. Kelly Lenz. Malcolm Mulholland. Kesar Rene Villalvaso Flores. My God, change your name. Bob Kisel. Kisel is like a very weird drink in Estonian, or like food, drink, dessert thing that is very thick and jelly-like. So, Mr. Jelly-like food drink, thank you for your support. My friends, if you like my videos, the Patreon link is in the description below. Today's story of what I did in Ukraine, since I recently came back from Ukraine and there's so much that happened and I cannot put it all in one video yet. It's coming out in 2 weeks, and if you need a perfect fundraiser, just wait 2 weeks because you and me, guys, we're gonna buy kamikaze drones for the best Ukrainian Special Forces unit. Just wait for it. But in this video, don't mind the cigarettes, I was very stressed. We were visiting personal invitation actually from 3rd Assault Brigade to their training grounds in Kiev. We're now at the training center of 3rd Assault Brigade. These are new recruits. We have a punishment going on right now. This guy was getting punished because he made a stupid joke and he had to do, guess what? 1,000 push-ups with jumps, and everybody was watching. Very bad. We're gonna find out why he's punished. He was like 200 in when we went there. These are all recruits, a few days in. How many have you done already?
110 and 10.
You remember when you were in the army? I do remember. See these weapons here? They are not supposed to leave them 1 meter further from their physical body. If it's 1.5 meters, they again get punished. And I remember it was the same with me. You go to, pee in the forest, you're so sleepy, 3 a.m. at night, you put their weapon next to a tree and you step 3 meters away. Somebody sees this, an officer, you immediately get punished. It all came back to me so vividly when I went to see these Ukrainian recruits.
How old are you guys? I'm 19 years old.
18. These guys are straight out of high school. So I figured out of solidarity I will do some with them. So I would join in with the guy who got punished. My friends, everything I did in Kiev is up on my Instagram, Artur Rehi, link in the description below. Some of this stuff I cannot post on YouTube because you want Ukrainian updates, I cannot always share this. So I'll see you in my Instagram with all the good and fun adventures we've had in Ukraine. A few moments after this, Russian missiles hit us. I'll see you in my Instagram. My friends, a few days ago, Sevastopol was attacked. And you have heard it so much. Oh, not again, just another missile attack. Well, here you can hear the sirens. And this one actually was confirmed by the Ukrainian intelligence. This is not just any attack. This is the most secure building of all of occupied Crimea. Russian air defense S-300s, S-400s were supposed to protect this at all costs because the entire Black Sea fleet was led from that very building, and a few days ago the secondary headquarters was actually blown up by the Ukrainians. I remember covering it, so I guess they made another meeting in this main headquarters. And you know what? They were visited by Storm Shadow at the very moment. Not only the Black Sea Fleet Command was present, but also the Grand Forces Command, because there are reports of 9 high-ranking Russian officers, including 2 generals, being liquidated, being sent to sleep with the fishes, being sent to take a dirt nap or push up daisies, as you guys say in my comments, and 16 more injured. And this is not it, wait for it, do you have your popcorn? It is rumored right now that the commander of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, the highest position of this Black Sea Fleet, Admiral Viktor Nikolaevich Sokolov, has been liquidated. Admiral Sokolov is walking hand in hand with Storm Shadow missiles in, I don't know where he goes, in hell I guess. If true, then huge, kaboom, what the hell? One of the highest ranking officers actually in this entire war. One of the highest, I'm not saying the highest, but a big deal. Now, Russian Black Sea Fleet is responsible for most missile attacks on Ukrainian ground. So this would be a huge revenge from the Ukrainians for the missile attacks. I mean, we were attacked in Kiev 4 times, 4 nights in a row, 5 a.m. we go to the bomb shelter. I look at the app and I see the missiles coming from the Black Sea. And definitely this guy had something to do with it because he ordered these attacks with the authority of Putin. And now he might be no more. The commander of the Ukrainian Air Force actually confirmed the attack that it was done with Ukrainian Su-24s plus Storm Shadows. And later we have a video, insane footage, when we can actually see the Storm Shadow missile hitting the building, and it's a beautiful kaboom. Oh, it's pretty. My friends, this is the most secured building of the entire occupied Crimea, and this little dot here is the Storm Shadow missile. Woo! And you can of course see it because of the circle. But I'm sorry about the hype, but this gets me so riled up. Let's go on. Oh, look at this little cross here, little innocent cross. It's like Jesus in the sky, raining down to give justice to these bad men. You can see it moving right here. Can you see it? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'll stop. I cannot do this I'm sorry, but just, it's so big. One of the biggest Ukrainian intelligence successes of this war. And another one comes in. There's 2 of them. They're buddies. They were just following each other. Russian Minister of Defense, of course, released a statement that they intercepted most of the drones and missiles. So they have their main command structure building destroyed, and they were like, yeah, air defense working good. Good, Ivan, carry on, very good, you get medal. You are very brave soldier, you destroy drone, you get medal. And at the same time, the commander of the Black Sea Fleet is sleeping with the fishes. This is, yeah, it's weird Russian things. 2 of the most highest ranking officers to confirm to get wounded are the commander of the Russian Armed Forces group in Zaporozhye region, Colonel General Alexander Ramanchuk. Lieutenant General Oleg Tsekov was also seriously wounded. So we have already 2 confirmed generals wounded. And there's a bunch of names we don't yet know about. And this is the headquarters, and there was a high priority meeting going on with the Grand Forces commanders and the Black Sea commanders present at the same room at the time of this explosion. I mean, you let your imagination go wild. The 200s from this is gonna be insane. Let's just watch a short clip immediately after the explosion in Sevastopol. This guy is shooting a video and speaking in English, so I'll just use the opportunity to have this kind of clip and share it with you. Boom! Another explosion just happened.
It looks like something in the center has been hit. huge smoke. The centre of Sevastopol is this is the theatre district here, central theatre just here and there, and the smoke rising just over there. See what's been hit. Now it's difficult for me to take too many pictures here. I don't want to get in trouble with the authorities filming anything. There has been quite a bit of smoke around. It looks like some objects have been hit. Certainly the anti-air defense is just casually going about there.
Anti-air defense just casually going about there. I mean, Russia's biggest export before the war, of course, oil and gas and weapons, and most of the countries that buy Russian weapons are really hungry for their air defense systems before the war. S-400s were supposed to be the newest, baddest, the best ones, and compared to the Western ones, a lot cheaper. So India was buying them. I'm not sure if China was buying them, but a few countries in the Middle and Asian countries were buying them. And now this Ukrainian war shows how bad the Russian anti-air defense systems are. I mean, occupied Crimea. If I was Russia, I would put this full with air defense systems because it's one of the main targets of Ukrainian missile attacks, because it's filled with Russian high-value targets. For example, the entire command structure of the Russian Black Sea fleet concentrated into one building. I would fill that area with S-400s. And that has been the case. But you know what's the case? They just don't work. They cannot take down storm shadows. So all of these Middle Asian and Asian countries who have bought the S-400s for huge money for them now see that they don't really work. Не работает, Иван, что мы делаем, блядь? О, нихуя. It just doesn't work. And they're not getting their money back because they threw away the receipt. My friends, I already did the Patreons, and I already also said that go to my Instagram. So in the end of this video, I have nothing to tell you except for you're awesome. Thank you for coming here, and I wish you have a wonderful day. And until my next video, which will be Monday, stay cool, my friends, and bye-bye.